So you just got back from microcenter with your brand new Wi-Fi 7 router like this ASUS RTBE82U. And it has a load of great new features like 2.5 gig WAN, which is your internet connection, and 2.5 gig LAN, which means you can connect things at 2.5 gig directly on the router. It also comes with USB 3.2 Gen 1, so if you want to hook up a drive and have network storage, you can do that right on this router. And you want to use your newly found networking prowess to host a game server for you and your friends. We'll show you exactly how, ask you not to, and then show you a better way. Let's get into it. All right, so what we're gonna do today is actually kind of dangerous and we don't recommend doing it, but we wanna show you how to do it anyway, that way you have the knowledge if you need it for some reason in the future. What we're gonna do is port forwarding. And the ports I'm talking about aren't like USB ports or Ethernet ports. They're actually like lanes of traffic on your network. So we want to get a port from the outside on our public IP to forward all the way over to a port on a local machine that we're using as a game server. So what we're going to need to do first is get onto our network and figure out what the IP address of our game server is. So let's go over here on this ASUS router. There's a network map. Then we hit view list and bam, we're just going to use Jake Studio PC as though it were going to be a game server. So I'm going to copy that IP address and then close down here. All right, LAN. And this might differ depending on the router that you have, but it's gonna be mostly the same. It's gonna be in pretty much the same places. So what we wanna do now is actually make that IP address for our server static, which means that this will not change the IP address of our server. So we go to LAN and then DHCP server. And then what we're going to do, manually assign IP around the DHCP list. So what we're gonna go over to is client name, MAC address. In some services, you'll actually have to copy and paste this MAC address, but this ASUS router just has a drop-down menu, which is pretty nice. So I'm just gonna click on that. It's gonna keep that IP address and I hit apply. It's gonna go ahead and apply the settings. That was pretty quick. Now, what we're going to need to do is go over to, so let's go to WAN, and then you'll see a bunch of options here at the top. There's internet connection, dual WAN, which is pretty awesome. So if you have a little bit of a flaky ISP, you can actually have two ISPs. And what that'll do is have a failover. So if you lose internet in one, it'll fail over to the other. And then if you lose internet in your secondary one, you still have your primary. So that's a pretty cool thing, but we're going to go over to virtual server and port forwarding. So this is pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and enable it. That's going to apply the settings. That should take just a minute. And add profile. So this is actually pretty cool because this thing actually has some already pre-made server lists. We're not going to use them, but I want to take a look at them. So there's a DNS server list. These are just the ports that are available for these kinds of services. So if you wanted to have an open VPN tunneling into your house, you can do that on port 1194. If you wanted to have an SMTP server, that's port 25. So there's a lot of options there. And then there's also a famous game list. It's not by any means extensive list, but it is fairly interesting to see that there's a Counter-Strike, TCP, and UDP, PlayStation 2 if you're into old games, WoW, Xbox Live, Age of Empires. That's an interesting pick. What we're actually going to do is a Valheim game server. So we're going to go ahead and name our service Valheim server. So for our protocol, I'm gonna go ahead and do both TCP and UDP. That's not always necessary, it depends on the game and what the service is that you're trying to do. But our external port is going to be 2456:2458. That's gonna give us a range between 2456 and 2458 because Valheim needs all of those ports. So then we don't need an internal port. And for our internal IP address, we're just gonna click on this little drop down that they have because our network is fairly simple and click Jake Studio PC because it knows I'm accessing from this computer and it doesn't need that. And then source IP, that can be useful if you wanna limit who can actually go to this port forward, but our friends, they don't have static IPs from their ISPs, which is pretty common. You don't really get static IPs unless you're like a business. We're not gonna fill that out because it's optional and we don't have any to use. So I'm gonna hit OK. And bam, you're done. Now, all your friends can use your external IP on these ports and reach that PC. But the problem with that is that that port is open on your network to the public, which means that you're putting a hole the size of these ports in your firewall, which is the whole reason you got this awesome new router. You don't want to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is called a zero trust tunnel. It's where you can specify only devices and ports on that device that you can reach from the outside after you've been authenticated. So your friends, they'll have to sign in, but once they do that, it's like they're in the room with you. So it doesn't really matter that they're across the country. And we're gonna do that with Twingate. Twingate is actually one of my favorite free softwares, and it's what I recommend to everybody that wants to do anything like a game server, or if they wanna do self-hosting and have services at their home, that's how I recommend that they connect to it, because it's much safer and much more secure than doing any kind of port forwarding. So what we're gonna need to do now is go out to Twingate. Try Twingate for free, and then you're just gonna fill this out and make an account for Twingate. And then we wanna use this for at home because it's just us and our friends. So we hit get started, and then we're just gonna say gaming server, and then maybe also home lab. You know, why not? All right, and then how did you hear about Twingate? I'm just gonna say YouTube because that's where you're hearing about it. Hit continue. And then you can name your network. I'm just gonna call ours MC test, so if we ever have to use this in the future, we can show it to you. So MC test, and then on the network URL, I'm also gonna do MC test. Go to your network, and then you have to sign up with Google, Microsoft, GitHub, or LinkedIn, or you can use whatever identity provider that you want. That leaves them with the ability of not having to actually have any of your data. So we're gonna sign up with Google. I'm gonna use another account. Once you go through the Google sign-in process, you're gonna be building your network, they'll be redirected, and then welcome to Twingate. Let's go ahead and start our setup. We need to deploy a connector. So we're gonna pick one of these ways to deploy a connector, and we're gonna go ahead and use Docker for this one, because Docker is one of the simplest ways that we can actually get this started. So I'm gonna hit Docker, and then it's gonna want to generate some tokens. So you're gonna click generate tokens, then you click authenticate, then it's gonna make you sign into Google again, or whatever auth provider that you have. I went with Google, so I'm gonna sign in there. Continue, and then bam, we are logged in and we have our tokens, which you can see, but we've since deleted. So let's go ahead and scroll down. There's a couple of options that we can do here, like custom DNS servers, make connector available on local network. I don't really think that we need to do any of those at the moment. So then basically we're just gonna come over here and copy our Docker run command, and then what we're going to do is actually use WSL. So let's go to Docker Desktop, the #1 containerization tool for developers. Once you've gotten into Docker Desktop, it's gonna go ahead and start the Docker engine, which means it's spinning up that little lightweight VM and then starting the Docker engine on it. And then all we really have to do is go to the command prompt. So cmd, paste that in, and it's gonna go ahead and pull that Twingate connector. So once that's installed, what you need to do now is actually create resources that we can connect to on the network. Because as of right now, this is a zero trust tunnel. It doesn't trust anybody with anything. So we have to tell it who to trust and what devices it can go to. So it looks like it is done. And we're gonna add a resource. So I'm gonna call this one game server, or Valheim server actually. And then we're just gonna put this single IP address in so that anyone trying to access this network can only access this IP address. Earlier we saw the IP address for our game server, and it's 192.168.50.88. And that is a fairly unusual one. The first two numbers, 192.168, that's pretty common, but usually it's a 0 or a 1, not a 50. I just like to be a little bit extra sometimes. We're gonna make sure that everyone can access that resource, and now you can download this for Windows so you can access that game server even if you're not anywhere near your network. And your friends will have to download Twingate and sign up. Once you've created your first resource, in our case the game server, you can go ahead and download Twingate as not a connector, but the service itself. So there's for Windows, Mac, Linux, Chrome extensions, Android, and iOS. There's a lot of different versions that you can select to get onto your home network from anywhere. So now what we're gonna do is go to Team, add a user, and we're going to put in the email of whoever we want to be able to access our server. That'll send them an invite, and then they will be able to download Twingate and access this network. And this is much safer than doing anything to your firewall that you might end up regretting in the future. It's all pretty simple, and if there are resources that you want to be able to connect to on your network, but you don't want other people to be able to connect to, you can actually create different groups with different permissions that have access to different resources on the network. If I want to connect, I can connect to anything on my network. But say if my buddy Joe wants to connect, he's only gonna get that Valheim server. So if you like this video, click like and subscribe. And if you want a microcenter near you, comment #I want a microcenter near me down in the comments. And we'll see you in the next one.